Hey you, the one looking at the screen. Do you think you're prepared for the zombie apocalypse? Well, if not, then you should probably stick around, because I'm about to bring you another epic Americanized zombie video. So sit back, relax, load your shotguns, and take some notes carefully so you don't get eaten by the zombies.
Castles are known for being some of the best spots for hiding during the zombie apocalypse. But which ones are better constructed for surviving the end of days? Today we're going to take a look at some of the best castles for the zombie apocalypse. Number 14, Alleiro, Portugal. When the Templars made it to Portugal, they made their presence known by constructing this remarkable castle, which many would consider impregnable. Considered to be one of the finest examples of Templar engineering, this castle is a part of a Templar defense network which oversees the strategic Tagus River. Not only is this castle on a steep hillside, getting up there requires getting past cacti. This castle sits about 59 feet above the water, and you can imagine it would be hard to get a boat through this river without the Templars knowing about it. It was originally a crude residence to Portuguese nobility, but the Templars transformed it into an imposing castle during the Reconquista. There really seems to be no proper way to lay siege upon this building without putting up a good fight. Could you possibly transform it into a zombie apocalypse hideout? Number 13, the Red Fort, India. The Emperor Shah Jahan constructed this massive complex from 1639 to 1648 and included various displays of Muslim architecture. The massive walls and towers throughout the palace here helped it earn the nickname of the Red Fort, although it was originally red and white. The extensive fortifications here make it one of the best places to hide out at in Southeast Asia during the apocalypse. Number 12, Malbork Castle. Located in Poland, the Malbork Castle, aka the Castle of the Teutonic Order in Malbork, is actually the largest castle in the world measured by land area, which makes it a formidable choice during the apocalypse. It was constructed by the Teutonic Knights, who had many similarities with the Knights Templar. In any case, it served as a residence for several Polish princes and princesses up until the Swedish occupation of Poland. It's found on the banks of the Nogat River, which would help reduce the flow of zombies coming from the west. It's also in close proximity to the Baltic Sea. The gates are also known for being extremely strong and should keep out hordes of the undead. Seems like an enchanting place to spend the end of days. Number 11, Caerphilly Castle. The Caerphilly Castle is the second largest castle in Great Britain, but it does have the most elaborate water defense system here as well. Located in South Wales, it was constructed by Gilbert de Clare in the 13th century and has seen its fair share of combat in the past. The artificial lakes that surround it were made by using some dams to block streams in the area, and even the dams themselves were fortified and are necessary to maintain in order to have a functional moat. If you were somehow able to find a way to get some sharks in this moat, it would really be able to deter thieves and maybe eat some zombies. Many of the circular towers should make excellent lookout vantage points, and as long as your drawbridge is in working condition, you should be able to make it across the moat without a problem. Number 10, Natsume Castle. This is one of Japan's most historical castles and should also prove to be one of the best castles during the zombie apocalypse if it hits this country. Not only is it surrounded by a moat, it features walls and a gatehouse to further its protection. The origins date back to the 1500s when it was built by Shimadachi Sananaga. It's been renovated several times, which should keep it in good condition as long as no fires break out, since part of it's made of wood. The second floor should also be equipped with Japanese samurai armor and have some katanas that you can use to your advantage against zombies. The only way to get in is through a bridge, which you could booby trap or even demolish if you think it's a good idea. There are also a decent amount of windows here that should help you spot some zombies from a long distance. The Predjama Castle. One of the most legendary castles in all of Slovenia, the Predjama Castle is located near the village of Predjama, not too far away from some spooky caves. This was built into a natural forming rock arc, and getting to this castle was extremely difficult for zombie invaders. There was also a secret tunnel that was used for the King Arizam to restock on supplies. However, as the story goes, one of his servants had to sell him out and signal to the army that Arizam was on the toilet. This appears to be the only weakness in the fort. The bathroom wasn't well fortified, and they shot a cannonball directly at him, bringing an end to his reign. Rumor has it that this place is also one of the most haunted castles in Europe. Number 8, King Friedrich Wilhelm Fort. Located in Russia, this abandoned fortress was the largest in the area for quite some time during the 17th century. It's found in the enclave of Russia known as Kaliningrad, located on the border with Poland. Eventually, it was left abandoned and the forest around it took over the area. People are allowed to visit, but it might also prove to be a perfect place to go during the zombie apocalypse. Number 7. The Donator Castle. Located on a sloping cliffside in an abandoned medieval fortress that seems like it would be impossible to build anything on, this site has been fortified since the early medieval ages. You can tell it's in a strategic area that overlooks the North Sea. Not only has it been needed to protect against raids from the English to the south, but also the pillaging Scandinavians to the east. It was certainly an imposing fortification which was difficult to lay siege upon for centuries. Can you imagine being a zombie and trying to march past this thing? In the 1600s, it was fitted with gun ports, but obviously, its best defenses are its natural aspects. Due to its isolation besides from the city of Stonehaven, even getting here without arrows flying at you can prove to be difficult. Number 6. Chateau de Val. Located on a peninsula of an artificial lake in the country of France, it's found in the remote region of Auvergne where no one would even look to find you. The area surrounding the castle is heavily forested, and the artificial lake right next to it should provide you with plenty of fresh drinking water. There's also a yacht club right next to it, meaning that you should be able to snatch one if the owner is no longer able to claim it. Built in the 13th century, it appears to be in great shape and would prove to be a formidable hideout during the apocalypse. The forest around you should also provide you with an environment to get some hunting done. Number 5. Casa Labardi, Italy. This picturesque castle in Italy is said to be haunted by various spirits, especially late at night. According to legend, the last elephant of Hannibal's army died at this location during the sacking of Rome. The castle was home to a vicious siege in 1269, which was led by Alberto Fontana, but was acquired by different rulers throughout history. Built at the top of the hill, this medieval castle should give you an excellent view of zombies down below, so you can tell where they're coming from. Number 4. Lake Bled Island. This fairy tale type setting almost seems like the perfect place to survive the zombie apocalypse, that is until the lake freezes. Although this isn't the castle per se, there certainly is no reason not to take advantage of the geological features here. A lake with not too appealing of a name to English speakers completely surrounds a Baroque church in the northern part of the country near the border with Austria. It certainly seems possible to transform the church into a stronghold against zombies. The picturesque environment has mostly been under German or Austrian rule for a long period of time, although archaeologists believe that they found some evidence of Slavic cults taking place here since the 9th century AD. Number 3. Valletta Malta. The fact that the city of Valletta is already on an island is a great start. After being invaded many times by numerous people, the island of Malta has extensive numbers of fortifications. Here you can find walled fortresses, citadels, forts, towers, redoubts, and pillboxes. The strategic location has made it desired by many different powers. If zombies do decide to come in, there will be an extremely large number of fortified places to hide. Here we see Fort Manuel, built by the Knights of St. John. It was slightly damaged during World War II, but restored and back in fighting condition. Every strategic location of this city is fortified with St. Andrew's Bastion. At the very tip of the harbor stands Fort St. Elmo, which withstood a siege against the Ottomans for 28 days. Either of these castles will make a great option during the apocalypse. Number 2. Alleiro. The original site of Alleiro was home to a medieval castle, but the one we see in modern times was built between 1518 and 1527. It was built by Gilles Berthelot, that we see in this portrait, who had a prominent role in handling the king's finances. The picturesque chateau is surrounded by wooded forests and water, which make it an excellent place to survive the zombie apocalypse. And the French architecture isn't too bad either. Although it's not really designed to defend against large-scale attacks, it's completely surrounded by the Indre River, and you can focus your attention on defending only 3 ways to get in. Make sure you got a good number of people on your squad and live it up in the Chateau de la Loire. Number 1. Bodie M Castle, England. Completely surrounded by a moat, the Bodie M Castle was built in the 14th century that contains many duck and fish for you to eat while living here. It was originally built by the former knight Sir Edward Dallingridge during the 100 Years' War. Since it appeared to keep the French out just fine, it should do rather well against zombies. Knowing that zombies most likely won't be able to swim, the moat here adds the extra layer of protection that every survivor is looking for. There are plenty of windows to shoot longbows or snipers from. It's needed virtually no restoration since its construction, meaning that it won't need a ton of time to repair it.